name is Anthony Kester, from a little town of Clearwater, Nebraska, about 350 people. We farm and ranch up there. I had a guy the one day call me and said I'd won a hunt in South Texas through Big and J, and I was just stoked because I'd never been hunting in Texas, and I thought, man, this is going to be awesome, you know, to see just alone the hunting, but just to see the terrain in the country down there. I was talking with Josh. I kind of wanted to bring somebody with me, and I ended up asking my nephew, Blake, and because he loves to hunt, he's passionate about hunting. He just seemed like a good fit to bring him down here to hang out with these guys and do a bunch of hunting for about 4 days. The first morning we went out to a stand called Watermelon, and before it was even light enough to shoot any footage, we were seeing deer already. And when it got light, we were just covered up with deer. We had does and fawns everywhere, and tons of bucks. I think we seen like 13 different bucks that morning, and had an encounter with a really good buck, a younger buck, and decided he was too young and not mature enough to shoot that morning. We seen that one good buck, and we got looking at him, and he was all broke up on his G3, and Josh looked at him more, and we realized it was the buck they call Laredo. The only bad thing with Laredo is that Laredo is kind of the boss buck there, and he just kept running everything off. But we were just seeing lots of deer, and it was a stand that I was really happy to set in the first morning because we were seeing tons of deer. Going over to the Big and J.
I'm Blake Kester from Clearwater, Nebraska. I was pretty pumped to come down here. You know, I've watched all kinds of hunting shows down here in Texas, and just thought it'd be sweet to go do something different other than hunt deer in Nebraska.
Well, this is the fourth hunt, second night, and the fourth stand. Keep jumping around, and Josh was showing us a couple pictures of 2 old 10-point bucks that we're hoping to see down here tonight, but you just never know, I guess. We'll shoot whatever we see.
That afternoon, we were kind of, hadn't shot anything yet, and I was really itching to pull the trigger. So Josh was showing us some pictures of this buck called Devo that they had, and just kind of figured, you know, he's been seen around there a lot. Let's go try to get that buck. And so that night, August and I went to the stand and sat there for a while. We had some javelinas start coming down from up top. I think we had a doe or two moving around, or a young buck maybe. But I was kind of waiting on those javelinas to get closer and closer, and I was just itching to pull the trigger on one of them. But all of a sudden, out of the left side, Devo steps out, and had to take a look at him for a little bit and make sure it's him. But he kind of stood around for a little bit and was waiting on a good shot, and it kind of looked like he was going to take back off into the brush, and those javelinas were still coming down up top.
Shoot that javelina right there. That's pretty sweet. First Texas buck and javelina.
So it was a pretty sweet deal, getting a buck and javelina within, I don't know, 10 seconds or something.
That was a rush. I got shaking pretty good, but he's down. Ended up getting a javelina right behind him too. Just kind of stood back there after I shot the buck. I don't know, it's pretty cool being in Texas, first time on a hunt, getting a buck down and a javelina, and still got a day and a half left to hunt, so hopefully we can get some hogs or something too. Should be laying right up here somewhere. Yep, right here. Oh, there he is. Ooh. First Texas buck. Well, we had javelinas coming down, and I've been itching to squeeze the trigger since we got onto the plane, and we're just kind of sitting there watching them come down. Another younger buck, he was messing around eating on some corn and bacon J, and then I was just about to ask August if I should shoot a javelina soon. And out of the brush comes this guy, and he was one of the bucks that Josh told us to go ahead and shoot, so we'll let him get out there, and after I got done shaking enough to pull the trigger, got her done. It's Daniel Defense 6.5, it's AR style. Had a real fast follow-up shot after I shot that buck. Just happened to see him standing right above him, and obviously put a hurting on him real fast. Those are kind of sweet. They're a lot smaller than they look in the scope.
Well, on the second to the last morning, we end up going to the southwest pasture. And we were sitting there, and it was fairly dark yet, and we seen a buck at the feeder. I believe he was in there eating some BB square, and so he jumps out, and he's over by the deadly dust, eating deadly dust, and we were trying to figure out who it was. He was a good deer, but we couldn't see him very good. Well, when it finally got light enough again, we look, and it's Laredo again, and I mean, he is out there just pounding the corn. He was out there probably for a total of probably an hour and 30 minutes. He was out there eating either the deadly dust or chowing down on the corn, and he just wouldn't leave us alone. He was just chasing everything off the fields. Just you could just tell he was a dominant buck, and he was there dang near the whole time. And if he wasn't on the field, he was in the brush, and we seen him the whole time we were there. Crazy thing was when everything started clearing off, we were about ready to leave, I told Josh, I said, hey, I'm just gonna hit the antlers once. And I put the antlers out front, and I hit them, and it wasn't 15 seconds. We had bucks running everywhere. We had 6 bucks run in a matter of a minute after I hit the antlers. So that was pretty cool.
So the last afternoon, it was our last afternoon hunt, and I was really hoping to get a hog while I was down here. And we ended up going down to a different blind, and we sat there for a while. Weren't seeing too much, and heard the coyotes just going crazy in the background. And I always carry a mouth call on me, so when I'm hunting back home, if I ever get a coyote or bobcat to come through, I usually try to get them, you know. But I squalled for a little bit on my mouth call, and sooner or later, 10 minutes, I think, there's a coyote that ended up coming on in right before dark, and ended up getting him too.
Yeah, busted. That's cool. Very, very red coyote. Hey, I told you. It's that mouth call. I called him in here. Fox Pro.
last morning, we decided we were gonna go to a stand called Corral. And so we sat there and we were having deer just pour into the field, all kinds of does and fawns. I guess we never had anything that was mature come in or something that we were gonna shoot. And I just told Josh, I said, I kind of wanted to shoot something in Texas, so I ended up deciding there was a doe standing there, and she was eating a BB square. And I told Josh, I said that's the one I want to take there. She was kind of the biggest, maturest deer, I thought.
I'm good whenever you are.
It's a nice, big, mature doe. So I ended up taking her, and we never did see any other bucks. And I guess it was just a morning we seen all does, and I guess that's just the way it happens. I was hoping to kill a buck down here, but I'm the type of guy, I'm not gonna just go shoot anything. I want to shoot a mature deer, and I'm the same way at home. But I was sure happy that Blake was able to shoot a mature deer, the deer they call Devo. He's a big, mature deer. I was happy he was able to take him and shoot a doe, and then some javelinas and a coyote. You know, it's all good. I was just glad that we got a chance to experience Texas and come down and see this stuff, and I sure appreciate Big and Jay sponsoring this whole deal and bringing me down to Texas to see some new territory.